Hey YouTube, this is MotoCARR again with another video. This time we're going to show how to take out a window in a 1990 Mazda Miata. I assume it's going to be similar to the next generation, the NB Miata, but this is going to be done on a 90. So I'm going to do it a little bit out of order. I wanted to show what the glass looks like first. Once it's out the car, so you can kind of see what you're dealing with. To begin, I'm going to start with these two holes here at the bottom. This one and this one here. These are your window stops. There's going to be two brackets in your door, and you're going to have these two round discs installed on these. So when the window is going up, the brackets sit similar to this with the disc in here, and that's going to stop your window from coming out of the track going up. Now the reason why we're taking this window out is to replace these roller guides. A lot of you guys might have a slow moving window either side. Mine are both pretty slow. Now actually my passenger one is stuck. It's stuck up. It only goes out about 1/4 of an inch. So I'll actually show you two ways to get the window out. So here's what's left of the nylon bushing or guide that's in the door. So essentially what this does is this slides in a track, and this is what keeps your window in line as it moves up, as the actuator in the door moves up and down. This knob here, this little nylon sleeve is in a track, and this track is what keeps your window aligned and straight so it doesn't bind when it's going up and down. So as you can see, this is what's left of my driver's side. The passenger side is equally as bad. So what happens is, since all of this has been broken away, what happens is here is your window goes up, it does this. It moves up and down as it's trying to slide up. So this post, this Torx screw here is going to bind on the track, and it's dragging all the way up and down. So that's why a lot of times your windows will slow down. So what I'm doing here is actually found one of the members on Miata.net found a cheap way to replace it rather than spending 15-20 bucks on some of these Duralin bushings. If you go to Lowe's or Home Depot, you're going to look for a 3/8 inch. See if I can get here. 3/8 inch by 1 inch by 3/8 inch nylon spacer. I found this one at, I believe it was Lowe's. It was $1, $1.50, something like that. So I went ahead and bought 3 of them just in case I broke one of them for whatever reason. And here's the way you can see it. So once you get the window out, again, I'll cover that here in a little bit. Essentially, this piece was on it. This is all that's left. So this is a T30 Torx bit. Essentially all it is, see if I can get it here. It's a T30 screw, and on the underside, sorry about the light, there we go, it's a little bit better. It's a threaded, we'll call it a washer. It's a metal washer, and then there's another plastic washer in between the glass. So you can see there's top and bottom. Two nylon clear washers sandwich the glass, and then you have the base, and then you have the threaded base on the underside. So what you do is you just get a T30 Torx bit, something like that. Take this, back it out, pull this one off, and I've got 2 of them here. This one, you're gonna have to modify a little bit. So when you go to put the window back in, you can see here what I had to do is it's kind of tapered, and this one is not. This is the way it looks. This is the way it comes right out of the package. So in order to get it to work, you can put spacers underneath it. As you can see, it flops around a little bit. I'm going to give it a go without it, see how it works. But what you'll need to do, see if I can get a good shot here, is when you put it in, if you were to put it in directly out of the package like this, it's going to stop about here. So that lip that's sticking out the top of this spacer, it's going to hit the track, and then you kind of basically have the same problem you're having now. So what you'll do is you'll take the top, I've got a unibit or a step bit, looks like that, it just gets bigger at the bottom. You can use a bigger drill bit, same thing. So what you want to do is you want to flare it so you kind of get that taper in there. So that way, when you put it in, it sits flush. Now it's going to sit flush in the track, and it'll slide up and down just like that. I've seen guys put spacers underneath it. I've seen it run without it. We're going to go without, see how it works. If it's stuck, it's not a big deal. You get the window out, I'll give it a go again. Mainly because I just don't have a spacer on me right now. So we'll give it a try, see what it's like. So back to the window. Essentially, the way you get it out is these white brackets here. There's 10mm bolts or screws holding the window to the window actuator. Whether you have power, but it's gonna be the same if you got a power window. I have crank, so it should be. I believe it's gonna be the same anyway. What you'll do is these three positions is what's securing the window to the actuator in the car. So if you go over here, I'll show you the driver's side. The easiest way is once you get your door panel off, put your crank back on, and then you're going to crank the window down. We'll pretend it's in here. Crank the window down. It's going to go down, 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 until you get to, there's going to be a little hole right here. There we go. This hole right here. You can kind of see, I've got it cranked down, you can see the hole there. That's where one of the bolt holes, access hole, to get to that 10mm bolt into the window track. The other side over here, there you go. You can see I poked two holes here. These were the other two would come out. They're exposed. So once you slide the window down, get to this point, you'll be able to access these two. What you'll also have to take off are the window stops. That's what these are. These are your stops. So this is what's on the window and keeps your window from coming out of the track when it goes up. So you have to remove these two. Once you crank your window down, you'll see them. You'll see them in this opening here easily. You can get it to here, and then get to it over here too. So that's going to be simple to get to. Crank the window down. Take these three out. Take your two stops out from either side, and then crank the window up. You could actually probably end up pulling it up. And then what you'll do is you need to take these. Well, there you go. You need to take those out because you will need to clear. See if I can get a better shot. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but this square thing sticking out right here, this is your stop. You got two of them. So you got to take these off in order to pull the window out to clear these stops. So once you get those off, window should come out pretty easily. This one, I can crank the window down about halfway and then it will get stuck. The other side, like I said, is having a larger issue. So I don't really advise to do it this way unless you have the right tools. Essentially what I did on this side is, you can see I still have the stops on there. Where is it? There's the other one. So I have the stops on there, and basically what I did was, instead of crank the window down, because I can't get it down but more than 1/4 of an inch, what I ended up doing was, where'd that back go? There we go. That bump stop, we'll call it, the window stop that I was talking about, this is what it looks like. So this is installed in the door this way. So it's on the back side like this, just like that. So this is what keeps your window from coming out. So I can't crank the window down to get it low enough to access the bolts. So what I did was I went ahead and unbolted these stops. You can get to it. See, there you go, from here and then here. Same 10mm bolts, pop them out. And then what I highly recommend you do is, if you have, lucky enough to have a ratcheting 10mm wrench. If you don't have one, it might take you really long time to get them out. You can actually access the 10mm bolts up here. So you just use the ratchet back and forth to get to all the bolts come out. Once you get to that point, there we go. Window pops out. Move it over here so you can see a little better. So again, when you crank the window down, again, these are the 3 bolts I was talking about. I can't get to them on my passenger side because it won't go down. And these are the stops that you would normally be taking off in order to get the window out. And you can see this is what's left of the stock bushing. or spacer. It's disintegrated. So this is why I can't get the window down. So what I'll end up doing is we'll go back over here. I'm just going to replicate what I'm doing to this window. Get the spacer in here, make sure you get it flush. Go to Lowe's. This is the spacer you need. I'll try and find it and put a link in the description. Some guys are saying they weren't sold. If you have a business account or know somebody who does, McMaster-Carr also sells these, Granger sells these. So they're definitely out there. You might be able to find it on Amazon. Again, spacer, once you take this off, put it back on, and then just install it in reverse. So the driver's side, I'm going to go ahead and slide the window in. I'll put these on. And then, actually, the passenger side, you'll want to do it. It's going to be way easier to get the window in. Now that I got the passenger side out, if yours is stuck like mine, definitely go ahead and crank the window down. Take these off. Then you can drop the window back in. It's so much easier doing it when you can crank the window down. But like I said, I just wanted to show another way, just in case your window is stuck. Again, to the brackets. I know I had some people asking me. These are the stops you got to take out. And they rest right in here. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you got any questions, put them in the comments. I try and keep up with all these. And we'll see you in the next video.